Good morning and welcome to another day with Dylan. This is Dylan Russell. This is the first of the week for me, I suppose. And we are starting inside the church. So yeah, you can see we've got the bench put up, the lighting put up. Looks like we are going to be relatively craziness free, I suppose. And so it's time to start moving stuff around to move in. Now, we still have not done anything with this room. Right, so that still needs a bell. Actually, maybe we can do that. We'll see about putting the bell in there. I'll check on the supplies of gold and see how we're doing. Apparently the cat's stuck in the room. Come on, silly kitty, get in here. And start naming the cats. And we also need to put the names up on the wall so that as the cats get named, we can take that down. What else have we got? So it's a little bit of a this and that to do sort of day. And yeah, that's what she wrote. Okay, what have I got? A gazillion lights? Sure. I have too much stuff. That's the way things go around here. That's part of why this building exists. Sort of. Alright. I think the first thing I'm going to do is grab a gazillion signs and get the cat naming stuff underway. So come on, kitty. Let's see if we can go get you named. It's a little bit quiet this morning, but that's a great way to start the week. Alright, where are we here? This. I have a bazillion spruce signs, that'll do. 16, 16, 32. Alright. What else have we got? I guess I'm gonna actually need a list of the names. That could be helpful. Name tags. Where did I put the name tags? Put them somewhere, but where did I put them is the question. Here? No. Need those though. Aha, there they are. Actually, let's just take one for now. I head back. I could probably fly this, I just haven't bothered. And it's time to do a double check and see if the scaffolding can come down around the outside. Probably a good plan, but let's get these names on the wall first. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good enough spot to put them. What about this room? Cat names room? Sure. Nice and bland? Alright. I'm just gonna quickly grab up a list because it has occurred to me I did not bring one up. Okay. Let's see. Where am I here? Where'd you go? Hi. Can you stand there? Fine, sure. Okay. Good morning, Spring Purse. Welcome aboard. Good to see you.
Hello.
I'm just going to bring up a Wikipedia page and then move it for you guys to be able to see. That's fine. I don't care, Microsoft. The Cat Who book series. I just need a list of titles. There we go. Yep, that'll work. Alright. Add browser page, please. Book titles. And this one. Okay, let's interact with this so that we don't need to see all of these pieces. Can I scroll down? No, it doesn't want to scroll. Oh, okay, well that's going to be interesting. Instead, alright, fine. We do a window capture instead. No, I don't want that. I want Oh. Let's go this way. Now back to OBS. Sorry guys for the delay. Properties, come on, show me. There we go. Alright. I'm gonna make this smaller, trust me. Oops. So really don't need all of that. Scroll. There we go. Alright. So you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. As big or small or annoying as it is. Let's put that on. Ooh, not on my face. Okay. Let's make it a bit shorter. Which is wrong one. This one. Not quite so short. Oh, drag down. There, close enough. Alright. So we know it's nighttime. Kitty's freaking out because he wants me to go to bed. Meow, 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 meow. Go, kitty, come out. Ooh. Let's close the door. I don't want any unwelcomes. It just works. Yeah, exactly. Let's just throw some junk in here. Did I pick up that ball thing? Yeah, I did. Whatever. Let's put that over there. We will eventually get all this stuff put away. I haven't even figured out where to put most of it. I know about the wool room, but that's about it. Okay. Alright, so we're just going to start sticking up a bunch of signs, and then as the cat gets named, then we'll take them down. So we're going to skip the first. Okay, this one, and we have we need to say the cat who could, oops, it's this way, could read backward. Alright. And then this one. 8 Danish modern. So these are going to be the cat names when we get them actually done. Turned on and off. So we're going to end up with 31 cats altogether because I think Quilleran ends up with 2 cats, but he starts out with just 1. So we're going to have the one that's been following us around named that to start with. Okay, what was the other one? Turn on and off, I got that. And then saw red. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play there we go. CJRV Williams would be highly unimpressed with me if I spelled that wrong. Alright, I got this one. What do we got after that? This sounds all wrong. It is family friendly, really? Okay. E. Oh, lovely. Really? New. SPEARE. What else we got here? Oh, lucky the cat who gets this one. Sniffed glue. That just sounds weird. Alright. And some of these are going to need to get shortened because I'm having trouble even getting them on the sign. But we'll see how far we can get. Alright, where are you? Okay, let's just get this one out of the road. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, okay, and name tag. And you, my friend, are not a book title. You are the name of the cat. Where are you? Coco, come here. There you go. Now you have a name. Alright, back to naming the boards. What have we got? Talk to ghosts. Okay, next up is Lived High. And then you a cardinal. Yep, okay. So we've got a whole lot of cats on here. Moved a mountain. Can't spell. Mountain. Edit sign message. Okay. There's some really strange cat names, and I'm okay with that. But it wasn't there. Actually, just for decorative sake, I can take this one out. Cat who went into the closet. A cat who came to breakfast. A cat who blew the whistle. Oop, I can't spell. Got. It's gonna be a fun one. Alright. We're getting close to this. Thief. There's only 29 books in the series, so we've got 15, 19. Tail of the Thief. Okay, we got Sang for birds. Sorry for the distraction. It's just a little easier for me not to make typos on the names if I just focus and get those ones done, and then we can talk about everybody's weekend. Bank. Lucky cat who gets that name. Alright. Went up the creek. Should be the last 5 now. Brought down the house. Hot turkey. Went can't spell. Bananas. What are we seeing here? Okay. Yeah, there we go. Then the last couple. Hello. This one, the cat who went bananas. Then we had cat who dropped a bombshell. Can't spell. Bombshell. Let's take that out. Okay. And then this last one. Oh no, I missed 2. Shoot. That's gonna bug me. Oh, I see. They didn't actually publish that last one, so I'm not going to use it. Okay. Add 60 with whiskers. Alright, good. They have one that's The Cat Who Smelled Smoke, but it was an unpublished title, and so I'm not actually going to include that one, because there's no way I could have read it if it's an unpublished title, you know? Plain. Alright, and then let's stick this one up Oh, not that one. Escape. Want that to go up above them. Alright, can't do that because silly me. Let's try this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Close enough. Let's go this way. Just put the at who. There we go. Come on, Coco, let's go. Can't even read that top one. Should have used birch for that. Wonder if I've got any in storage. Of course, the birch box will be the last one, right? Yeah. I could, yeah. That would actually make plenty of sense. I just don't like dark oak signs anyways. You make a good point. It'll set it off with the other ones, and I don't need to lighten them up because they, pardon me, because they are going to be vanishing every time I can name a cat. Good morning, Perfect Shot. How are you today?
Oh, hello there!
So this morning I was just finishing putting up the walls of... Do we have any here? Just putting up a big list of names of what the cats are going to be called. And I named the first cat. This is Coco. And then we can start getting... Ooh, let's do this the other way. We can start getting onto more cats once I actually have a second one show up. Then we just start breeding them. I mean, ideally it'd be nice if they're all Siamese, but, you know, I'm not going to worry about it because 31 cats kicking around is enough as it is. Just making it through the workday? Well, I guess that's a good way to go. I'm hoping for both of you that your days feel like they go quickly and that you have time to relax at the end. And did you guys have good weekends? I'm always curious to know how people's weekends turned out. Okay, let's just do this because I can. There. That was kind of dumb. Oh well. I think it went by pretty quick. I'm glad to hear. It's too quick as can be disappointing, but I'm glad that it went by fairly well. If it went too quick, then it usually implies that you enjoyed it, which is key. Let's see how that looks from the floor. Yep, that'll do. Hey, Coco, you're annoying. Get out from under my feet, alright? Thank you. Oh, where'd you come from? You're not welcome. Really? Seriously, where did you come from? Like, how did you get in here? Are you kidding? Like, one spot. Okay, you know what? That shouldn't even be spawnable because of the trapdoor in the way. It totally isn't. Seriously, man? Ugh. Yeah, totally. Anytime you restart your game, there's hours and hours of stuff to do on it. That's actually good. The thing is, it's going to be a shame once this season's over. Just to shut this down and start again, but hey, you know, it's always good to keep going. He probably came in from outside because he left the door open or something, but okay. Let's see, what have I got? I can go anywhere. Sensible. Sandstone stuff? Sure. Don't have any more quartz, so let's just put these over there. Dirt, you can go over here. I have tons of dirt, so I'm not going to worry about where that goes. Wood and spruce, let's go birch. I guess you get the spruce sign, sure. What do we got here? Fences, dark oak, dark oak. Yeah, oh, I totally agree. Love-hate relationship with the changing over seasons in Minecraft can be a handful sometimes. Because we enjoy what we do, right? And we get semi-attached to it, particularly if we move slowly. I'm one of those that builds really slowly.
Hello?
So by the time the season's over, I don't want it to go. And good morning, Tom. Yeah, I'm gonna have that one stuck in my head for a long time, too. That's okay. Hopefully, if I'm lucky, I'll be able to get that one out of my head this weekend. Back and forth, back and forth. Let's put that in here. Let's get the iron out of the way for now. I'm gonna misplace the tags, so leave them there. What else have I got going? I have no idea. Oh, carpets, right. They can go in a carpet box. Okay. What else are we gonna go in? Random junk space? Okay, let's put these over there. Extra carpets for now. Extra lanterns for now. Head goes in the other place. Oh, spruce signs. Sure, I'll put that in there. We'll put spruce signs. That makes sense. Okay. I think I've got everything. Sort of, more or less. Alright, so this one can come down here. I don't need more of those. So what I'm looking for is...
2, 4, 6, 8! Everybody hydrate!
Perfect, thank you. Yes, I'm a little gravelly this morning because this past weekend... Oops, I did this cat thing. Let's just get rid of that first. This past weekend we had scout camp. And... Oops. And, you know, all that campfire smoke and stuff like that gets to you after a while. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab a hydrate real quick. Oop, took the lid off, that's not good. There we go. That's good. Might even be a whole ounce this time. Wow. Yay! Right, half an ounce of coffee so far this stream. I forgot that was a self-resetting one. You've also hydrated with coffee. Perfect! Coffee buddies. Alright, so the whole point to that emptying of stuff, and I might as well put these down there, is so I can grab the first of multiple loads of things from this other room. I figure the easiest place to start is to get rid of the sum of the carpeting stuff, so I can figure out how many rows I want for what type of space. So we have just a little, and there'll be a lot of rockets, and it won't be all to and fro this time. We'll do something a little different. We can maybe go check out the scaffolding removals and stuff, but I figure might as well do a little bit of getting rid of things to start with. It makes it a lot easier to figure out where things are going to go later. Wow, okay, I guess we might as well use the back door. That just sounds wrong when I say it that way. Using the back door. It's not meant to, just feels like somebody's sneaking in, you know? I have just a little bit of white, and that's not counting the stuff that's been sitting in the farm for heaven knows how long. And I can never land exactly where I want to. We're still working on that one. So let's see. If I white, 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 and then I have 2 black. Okay, no, 1, 2, 3. Those are shorter rows, and then back through will be white, and then I can use the other ones for other colors.
Hello?
Good morning, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. Hopefully your meetings aren't too onerous this morning. Oh. See what I mean? Not landing where I want to today. Oh, am I indeed? Yes. Sorry about the auto mod. My apologies. Come on, you silly auto mod thing. Let me actually approve that message. Yes, I am indeed becoming the crazy cat lady. So there's one, that one's Coco, next one is Yum Yum, and then after that we get the weird book titles you were seeing. Did I kill that one? Okay, this one. Yay! Moving day is always a pain in the butt. This one's full? Okay, good. Figure I should have enough white wool for a while after that, but the thing about wool farms, they don't shut down unless you get rid of the sheep. Whereas, at least I have the ability to speed throttle the iron farm by using, it doesn't shut off either, but since I mentioned it, I might as well say it. So in Java you can make the two different types. One's where it's all social, so the iron comes just because these guys are being social with one another. And then if I want it to be sort of mid-speed, right? Then I've got a daylight sensor here that I can reverse, and it'll push the piston up, and then they'll see the ground and start freaking out, so I get more during the day. And that's mid-speed because it does drop down at the night to allow these guys to sleep, because otherwise the farm will eventually, in essence, tucker itself out and stop working. Apparently everybody wants the same bed, and I have no idea why. It doesn't make any sense why they won't actually go and grab different beds initially, but whatever. So that way he's down at the bottom and they can actually sleep. And then if I want it to be fully high speed, then I can actually take this out and keep the zombie raised the whole time, and nobody will be able to sleep, but I do have to be aware that I need to reset the farm from time to time. Am I empty? Okay. What have I got? Nah, not much to worry about. I find coffee is, caffeine of some sort is essential. It doesn't necessarily have to be coffee per se. It could also be, like I can do a good tea or something in the morning. I just need warm drinks. And I will admit, I'm really spoiled in that I'm glad to be home and having good coffee again. Well, at least as far as McDonald's good coffee. I like the grounds they have when you buy them in Canada. Basically what had happened was, oops, I should not waste time here. Years ago, Tim Hortons in Canada had good coffee. And then they got bought by Burger King out of the US, and their coffee went south. As in, it's not bad coffee, but it's not anywhere near as good as it used to be. Because what happened was Burger King had switched suppliers to try and save a buck. So the result of that was that, of course, that contract was up for grabs. Well, McDonald's picked up the old Tim Hortons supplier contract, or at least knew that supplier, and so McDonald's coffee got good. You know, if that makes any sense. And so now I like that, but unfortunately, it still costs a good amount. Like, it's not, nothing's inexpensive these days. And so, unfortunately, the side of that is that you still have to pay more for it. So my scout group does not buy the good coffee, quote unquote, for camps and stuff. We just get whatever they happen to buy, and they have a percolator system that's supposed to have a filter basket to it. The filter basket is really bad. So your coffee ends up having sort of a gritty, crunchy chew on occasion. And it's really nice to get back to Calgary and even have some decent coffee. It's funny, for the longest time I didn't think caffeine had any effect on me, like as in, I can still go to sleep through it, and it doesn't keep me up at night, and all that kind kind of silly stuff. But let's take out that one. Yeah, it doesn't seem to affect me in those ways. But I find that if I don't have something warm in the morning, then I will go a little squirrely. Kind of like that thing, you know, where if you don't eat, people say you go hangry. I'm kind of like that without some sort of warm drink in the morning, particularly in the cooler months of the year. All right. Actually, let's not get lost. It's like a maze just getting in here. This is going to be fun once it's storage for everything. I'm going to tear this house down. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with the space, though. And maybe a little bit after the break, we'll be doing probably some buttons, I suppose, of the Sherlock Holmes bust in the corner, because I didn't get that quite finished yet. And there will be a Hercule Poirot, and I know I mispronounced that, Hercule Poirot bust coming. I just have to actually get the schematic made out of that one. So it'll be something a little bit different. Yeah, bad coffee's not great. I've got I've got a few leaders who prefer coffee, and one that prefers tea, but she usually uses her one-off camp stove in the morning, and by the time she says, yeah, sure, you can have some hot water out of it, by the time she does that, there's like half a pot left. Not even half a pot, like half a cup left, I should say. So, I can't steal hot water from Kim, and I'm not a morning person. So I'm going to eventually just have to bite the bullet and either make my own coffee, which I do sometimes, actually. I take Instants with me, like the little tube things. Yeah, so I either have to make my own coffee with Instant or make my own hot water for tea. It's just going to be one of those things. And that's okay, except some camps I'm one of those, like, you know, need warm drink to make warm drink kind of people. Surprised that didn't go crash. I smashed into the wall. I definitely would not be one of those people that could do an electroflying course. Carpet. Okay, take that down. What's this? Random. Okay, there's space. Throw it in here for now. Put that one down. There's nothing in there. Take this. Yeah, I feel sorry if you guys need to lurk, but that's work days for you, and so far I appreciate that you were able to drop by at all. So good luck with your work day, and maybe we'll see you a little bit later. So I'm just out of pure curiosity wondering if I'm the only one that you guys are aware of who camps in the snow in a tent. Or in below freezing temperatures, I guess. This weekend was definitely below freezing. At home. Yeah, at home was great. At home is the place to be. Been there, done that. Been there, done that, got the award, never gonna do it again. Yeah, I can't blame you. Oh, I just dropped on the floor, silly me. There we go. So yeah, we were out doing that. We were at a place not too far from here. Well, I mean, it's a drive. But it was called Lost Lake, and I love the name. The location is beautiful. It's very well appointed. They have some cabins, but we hadn't rented cabins. And they had... What else did they have? They had... one of the cabins had a slide inside for the kids. I thought that was kind of fun. But yeah, we camped out... Oh, where are we going here? I'm directionally challenged in the air. But we had slept outside, and the wind coming off the lake... if somebody wants to use exclamation point convert, they can, but we were looking at probably about anywhere between 20 and 60 kilometers an hour wind throughout the day. I should say throughout the night. The day wasn't too bad. The night was pretty rough. And yeah, it was fun. I had a good time, but being cold was never my cup of tea. Just drop the pH and ask how many kilometers. So we don't have a per hour thing, because I mean both week per hour, so what's the point? But yeah, it's so 37.5 miles an hour, I guess. Or 37.3 miles per hour. Pretty rough. And cold, but hey, you know, it's not that bad in the end. So yeah, we're looking at that sort of mile-an-hour wind, and it makes sleeping interesting. I sleep well, I snore, and a good number of our scouters snore. So, you know, you got your challenges with that to begin with. But then when the wind is blowing and your tent is creaking and you're thinking to yourself, please don't collapse on me, this would just suck, then yeah, it gets to be a little bit of a challenge. Trying to figure out why I have a weird amount of wool. That's okay. There's just a little bit here. So I guess another question would be, if you have never camped in weather like that, provided that you had warm enough sleeping bags and warm enough clothing and stuff, would you ever consider doing something like that? I'm pretty sure I know Fantastic Sherlock Fox's answer would be a very resounding no. Either that, or they'd have to pay him lots of money with lots of coffee. But that's just because in our house, I'm the scout leader. For good reason. It's not his cup of tea, and far be it from me to ever try and make him. Yeah, there are people that are just not campers. That's fine. Sometimes I think you miss out, but I know several people though that they are outdoor hiker type people, just not campers. So that's totally cool as well. And that's what I do when I'm not doing this sort of thing. It was kind of weird to come back and play catch up reading some of the Discord stuff, and things, you know, the world moves on without you, which it should, as it should do. But it just felt really weird sometimes, because it was kind of like, oh hey, the week I'm not there, all the cool stuff happens. That's okay. Hello, how are you? Good to see you, B Silver B. You caught me in a bit of a to and fro mode. Today I'm attempting to move some of the stuff into the church so that I can start figuring out where things go. And I was kind of talking about being out in the cold and near freezing or slightly below freezing temperatures in a tent. And would anybody else do that? Oh, did I miss a wonderful hello? Mm-hmm. Bicycling, yeah, I can't blame you. Morning, Fire. Hopefully your day at work is going well. Yeah, I was out with the kids camping this weekend with the scouts, and it was chilly. Just a wee bit chilly. And then we're going out again, not this weekend, but the weekend coming up after that. So the Remembrance / Veterans weekend, we're going out camping again. So it's going to be a wee bit nippy. For those of you that haven't seen it, I'm going to and fro in the church I built, and I think this will be the last row of white. So getting myself lost in the pews. There's still a little bit of needs to be done here for a couple of speaking podiums kind of thing that needs to go in this area there. I still need to figure out what to do more with that section. And then inside the back, which is the tower, is going to be where I'm going to put I shouldn't say super smelter, but like a wall of smelting or furnaces on one side, some blast furnaces, that kind of, you know, smokers, that sort of jazz over there. And this little side ante room, I'm not really sure what it would normally be for. That they would some churches use it for like choir gowns and stuff. But this one is going to just be the list of cat names that are coming up. So and that was just blank because it's right above the anvil. I don't know why. I thought I'd have an odd number of rows, but I had an even one, so it's all askew. Works going well so far? Well, that's good. Trying to learn a new framework. Ooh. Sometimes new frameworks can be handy, sometimes learning them can be a real slog, so definitely the best of luck to you on that one. So we've named the first cat, and it's going to be Coco, and then the second cat, when we find, is going to be Yum Yum, and then we can really start getting crazy with fish and trying to breed cats, so that we can get the other 29 we're working on. You can see I've got enough spaces that I should be able to get a good amount of storage in here even before I end up stacking things up. So I was just starting with moving some of the wool that I had stored in the other building, because I actually don't have a whole lot of stuff in storage. All this section was wool, but it's not all full actually. Even a lot of these are just empty chests, or just dribs and drabs. I figured I'd move that out first, and then I can start tearing the building down afterwards. That's not what we're going to spend the whole day on, because, I mean, even that would bore me, so, you know, can't bore you too. But yeah, so that was where I was at, was asking people, would they actually, if you had the proper equipment to not be super duper cold, right here, 1, 2, 3, yeah, would they actually consider doing outdoor activities like camping or whatever in the snow? And it sounds like the general answer is no, not on your life, not happening. Can't blame them. Can't blame them at all. I keep forgetting I can fly. Like, I have the rockets in my hand, I keep setting them off by accident, and then I forget I can fly. Alright. This one. That one. Which one of these did I start? Oh, I didn't. Okay. Sure, let's take a little from there. Moving day is always the worst. Actually, I guess there's 2 days in Minecraft that are the worst. Moving day and sometimes start over day. But then again, I play a little bit of Minecraft Bingo, and it's always start over day. So get used to it. If I do the math, see, 1, 2, 3. Okay. How did that end up with 3 now? Oh. Oh. Well. Okay. Apparently I didn't quite finish. Interesting. Trying to figure out where things are going, and I'm 1 row short. Boo boo. If I did it right, then I've got 4 rows in each of 3 sections. This is 12. And then we've got 15 and 6, numbers 15 and 16 of white and black in the wool will be on the other side. So let's see. Yeah. 4, 8, 12, 13, 14. So I'm short for 2 colors, which means I need to figure out how to do that. But that's not a huge deal. It just needs to be done. $50 to $60 weather. Yep. That's the other one that I'm fighting with today is, got back from camp, did the laundry yesterday, or did my laundry yesterday, and then discovered today, Murphy's Law, that everything still smells like campfire. Not so effective. So I need to run a whole pile of it through a second time, probably with vinegar, I think, in it. Is it vinegar or rubbing alcohol? But then they'll say, be careful of your concentrations. Well, for various different other activity purposes, I've got alcohol where that would not be a great plan, because I like the stronger stuff for some of the activities we use. And yeah, it would probably do a number on my clothes. And hey, it's one way to get camp-only wear, for sure. But it was a little disappointing because it's a bit cooler today, so I was hoping I could wear a freshly washed pair of pants from camp, and no, not so much. Oh well. Just takes a little more work. Yeah, well, that's true. You know, I know Fantastic Sherlock Fox is not a fan of cold. He's finally got himself a good-sized parka, which is good to see, because he didn't for the longest time. But now he's got a nice one that he uses. All in a day's work for Confuse a Player. Alright, what's this? Let's take that. Yeah, I mean, hot is good to a point. But then again, I'm weird. Fantastic Sherlock Fox can vouch. I will wear long sleeve shirts and like hoodies and stuff in weather that's far warmer than I should. Sometimes I'll catch a chill somehow, and it'll be like, let's see, in Celsius it'd be like 25. Not particularly sure what that is in Fahrenheit, but it'll be like 25 above. When a normal house temperature, like a room temperature, it would be probably about 20 to 22, and I will still, if I catch a chill, I'll wear a sweatshirt. It's weird. Yes, you'll see me wearing like a knitted sweater occasionally in like July and August. It's odd. But I mean, there is a point at which, cold is better, you can put more layers on, but damp cold just feels like it sinks right in, and then there's nothing you can really do to make that work any better. We're just about done the white. Yay! Alright. Then I will stop for something else, because we're just about at halftime. And ooh, I'm gonna have more white than I need. That's not good. Well, maybe not. I can get the last of it in here. Okay, great. I figured I would go with extra white, because you can always dye that later. And black just generically comes in handy. But I think if I need to find more spaces, then maybe it's black that will suffer. Alright, yeah, that should fit. I'm glad the cats have timers in terms of how long it takes them before they'll teleport to you, because otherwise that one would be bouncing all over the place. Alright, last load of white coming through, and then, I mean, obviously there's plenty more where that came from, but I'm not going to clean out those today. Yes, totally can't blame you. Can't blame you. You and Fantastic Sherlock Fox. I was bugging him yesterday, just saying that, did you get any downtime while we were away? He's like, no, not really, and outlined what all he'd been up to. Sometimes I think, oh, okay. Sometimes I think that's part of being a kid whose parents were related to the army, and it's just that you never know when somebody, I mean, if you've got too many people in your house, as his mom did growing up, then of course you need it somewhat clean all the time, just because there's just a lot of people in the house. You know, a lot of people make a lot of mess. But there's also the other side of it, where if you're related to the forces, you never know when somebody who has clout could drop by. And you never want to show a messy place when that's the case. So I bug him that he seems to have an attachment to doing chores. But then again, he doesn't feel comfortable in a space where things are left messy. So I kind of can't blame him. Kind of. Actually, generally I can't. I just can't blame him. But yeah, not my thing. I'm a piler, and that doesn't help. But anyway, yeah, today's laundry rant was just about the fact that when you come back from camp, whether it be warm or cold or whatever, you've got a ton of laundry to do. I hate laundry. In case you hadn't figured that out, I absolutely hate laundry. Oh. Okay, well, I've got a lot of wool. Okay, I guess this space, which is supposed to have another layer on it up here, we'll probably store the extra colors. Sure. Just go with white all the way then. Maybe I can make black be that upper one. Let's do something a little different. Keep not. Let's see, where's the cat? Alright. Great. Okay. Hello? Do I have... What do I have in here? That. Oh. Random. Okay, so this side can generally be torn down. I think. Yep. That's purple. Brown, green, nothing, lime and white. Yellow. Okay, we're good. So I can start tearing that down. Restart in 1 minute. We'll do a little bit of Lego after that, and then we'll get into something not moving wool back and forth. Alright. Hello, kitty. Should probably finish that row. It's going to bother me. We've got heads to put up. This, that. Wow. That bot is noisy. Oops, don't do that. So I oopsed, and I did not put the right number of rows in this side. Perfect. Okay, let's go for a bit of a Lego break. I'll finish the bench when we get back, and then we'll see what else we can do. Right. Alright. So let's instructions. Interact. I'm just going to get us the correct page number, then I'll bring you guys across. Oh, not that.
You can enjoy the ride and let others enjoy it. Or you can, well, look around.
Here we go. Alright, so now we're starting with putting on the fronts. We've got a couple of little labeled sections there. So let's just get you guys live. Perfect. So we've got a couple of little labeled sections on the side. I have not put labels on them. Just don't really intend to, I suppose. And then you can see how things go. We've got several different design choices here that they suggested, different ways of doing the different houses. I like the kitty corner on the left. You'll see, bottom left, you'll see the sort of the kitty corner style designs for the Gryffindor house, but I'm not going to do the whole thing that way. I think I'm probably going to do a quarter of the boxes each way. So something like this sort of design, but in the various different colors. Lego time! Yep. Except it's Lego time, rather literally. Well, maybe. Maybe not. There we go. So, let's just go and dig in, and we'll see how far we can get. Let's start with... Ooh, I'm shedding. Start with some yellow. So, as I said, I'm going to try and replicate some of this sort of thing with the kitty corner coloring. Ooh, this way. There we go. And see what we can get. There we go. That's better. Actually works better for me to work on as well. So we're going to try and spread it for all 4 houses and see if we can make it look decent. But we have 3 sections. So yeah. And then... this one. The red. Lego. So I did get another set as a thank you for surviving the... oh, that's not what I want to do. Alright, thank you for surviving the stream weekend. And so I've got a Thestral set, which is really quite nice. Ooh, okay, pop. Let's go Slytherin on this side, I think. Green and black. Green and... oh, hooey. Our brain doesn't want to work today. Green, gray, okay. So I've got that Thestral set available to us. We're going to see how that goes. Swim. Come on. There's a gray down here. Green this way. And a gray. Come on. Luggage piece. Alright, and then we'll go Ravenclaw on this bottom side, and we'll do Hufflepuff on this bottom side. Let's go black. I think kitty corner 2, that's over here. I've done this one incorrectly. Where did I put the thingamajigger? Tear the top. Pop this one. Gray and green. So when this one's done, we have a couple of different choices, but I think most likely I'm going to go back to, if I can talk straight. I'm probably going to go back and do the hospital wing, because I quite like that design. Do I want this way or the other way? Come on, you. I want to pop some of these and see how it goes the other direction. Not? Okay, fine. I want to take the whole kit apart. And we'll all stream doing so. Apparently, I am clueless with Lego today. Nope. That's fine. We will go that way instead. Alright, then we get black in the center. The yellow on the bottom. And then on the Ravenclaw side, blue and gray. Interesting. Let's go with a blue one on this side. And a gray center. Blue, gray, blue, and gray. Strange combo, but I think it's going to look okay. Perfect timing. All right. So that's the end of that particular step. Once we get the front done, they just want to put labels on the sides. And then we can decorate it however we please. Now, I'm not really sure if I'm going to. I probably could and or should, because we have a bunch of like little stickers and things we can put on stuff. But stickers don't always come off, and I have a horrible ability to decide what stickers I want for things. So I'm actually quite tempted to maybe just pick some generic ones, like Full House or something like that, as in like the crest, that sort of thing, or maybe put in one like Reach House or something, but we'll see. I have to think on that one. So back to Minecraft. Refresh. There we go. Alright, and we're back, and it is nighttime. But that's okay, we don't really care. I'll find another skeleton or something jumping on me pretty quick here. Hello, kitty. This one. And this. That one. Coco, please go. Please move. Thank you. 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm playing with blocks, playing with blocks. Exactly, it's like digital Lego. There we go. Okay, where did I put these? Come on. Oh, not 2. Oops, I don't need that. That'll be interesting. Let's throw a torch in there for now, because I'm sure I'm going to want it later. Nah. Lighting's high enough. Hey Ross, how are you doing?
Oh, hello there!
Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. I'm assuming you've been a very busy person. So we've got, the church is mostly finished. I was moving in a bit of the wool, and I have a lot more that I could move. I probably should take a break from that one and do some of that off camera, because it's about as exciting as watching paint dry. So let's see if we can get something else going on here. I think I'll probably tear down, where am I here? Tear down the attempt at a stove something or other, and put that in the other room. What's this? Oh, haha. Random junk hanging from the ceiling. Okay. That's totally fine. If you need to come and go, you know, go for it. Everybody is welcome to do as they see fit. And also, if it turns out that Oh, haha. Forgot about that. And if it turns out that people need to, you know, alter their support as well, that's no hard feelings here. But yeah, people get busy, you know, and it is a good life choice to take breaks from screen time now and then. I actually will admit I was this weekend, while I was out camping with the scouts, I was unplugged and it felt really, really weird, and I almost went and watched Carnage Joe's stream, and then I realized no, that wasn't working because the internet out there was only 3G, so that would not have gone over all that effectively. But yeah, it's time to move a lot of this stuff and then get rid of this place. Ooh, that could be interesting up at the front. Those things don't stack, do they? Dang it. Fine. What else? Sure, that'll work. Ow, and I still hit the wall. Coco, you could have told me. So let's get this organized. I don't use smokers all that much, so maybe there'll be that wall. He's over here. Only got the one. Oops, I need to not die. Okay, well, I guess I'm walking. Oops. Guess I'm walking back. Let's try, just for now, put that down and we'll fix it later. Right. One moment. And this one, put furnaces on this side for now. What's that? One from the wall? 1, 2. 1, 2, this, that. There. This one, and that one. One. Come on there, we'll figure it out later. Smokers, sure, I'll start. Let's just go with one row of those. So this one and this. Yeah, I'm almost dead. I know, it's really stupid. And unfortunately, it's one of the things I don't have with me. Oh, cat, really? Coco, get lost. Seriously. This one. That. Coco, would you please move? I can't go jumping around. I could die. Well, at least we're not far from home. Smacking into walls is a little detrimental. Just a bit. Have anything I should eat? Let's go with... Oops. That's a little better. Alrighty, what do we have in here? Wrong box. What about this one? Did I not have... Oh, okay, I thought I had more smokers and furnaces and whatever. That's okay. I think. What did I put? Oh, red stony bits. Okay, I need those. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so you can split second pause here just to switch off some of these timers because they're a little bit annoying. Settings, timed actions. Edit. I'm going to see if this will work. It may not, so my apologies if it does really weird things. This one, this one. Okay. Edit that. See how the cues go.
And now some of us laugh at outer space. Let me show you something.
Okay, I've got 2 items stuck in queue that I can't seem to do much about, but we'll see if that clears itself out pretty quickly. Okay. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let's see, do I have buttons? Yes, I have buttons. Excellent. Eat. Can I fly? Not crash into as many things. Alrighty. This place still needs carpet on the floors, but we'll get there. What did I have here? I don't remember why I was putting all this stuff here. Oh, right. Okay. Coco. Seriously, cat. Okay, let's put the barrel on the side. There. Cat's being exactly. Cat is being a true cat, for sure. There we go, close enough. That'll do for now. Okay, can I get this here without the cat being a total tool? So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, close enough. We are semi-functional. Whoops. Work. Uh-huh. Yeah. Dylan, you are such a tool. Don't worry, we'll do this later. Later. 3 centuries later. Okay, what did she do? Cat. Put that over there. Okay, let's put it. Where did I have more of these? I knew I had more chains somewhere. Don't I? Really? Huh. Oh, they're there. Okay. We're gonna get back over and do a little bit more. Oh boy. I'd like to be able to see what I'm flying onto. There we go. So you can see we've got a few more buttons that need some placing. It won't be long until the cat shows up. I would not be surprised. And in all honesty, I'm taking the lazy person's way out for spawn-proofing this. But hey, if it does the trick, I'm not going to argue. Oops. Well. Oh. Thank you, Mystery Sleeper. Ah, it's JBT. Awesome. And I can go press all the buttons. Buttons. My precious. Mixed references are so much fun. Sometimes I wish they had a more satisfying click noise. They don't actually do much. As a fidget thingy fan, I kind of wish the buttons had more clicky noises. But, oh well. That's okay. Jump. Ow. Apparently not. Alright, and I move the chair myself when I do that. Boink. Okay. Not how did I get in here, but why. There we go. Finding all the little nooks and crannies is, for me at least, a challenge after I've built something. Guess that works. Let's put it down there. And no matter what you do, you're never going to have enough, right? Like, I probably could have run around with torches instead. But being as real life doesn't actually have mobs that are going to run around and jump on you and kill you, that the faux realism, and I know that's not really a word, but the faux realism of having buttons on it to keep things from spawning seemed to me to be a little more effective. Let's see if I can do this without totally dying. Did I bring enough? Ah. Let's do... Why not? Ooh. May have far too many buttons, but that's okay. And if I don't have far too many buttons, I'll come back and get some more. There you go. You once jumped a considerable distance down, not realizing you'd swap your elytra for some armor. Oh, yeah. Did you end up going splat as a result of that? Because I've done that. I've hit the ground too fast. Too hard. Hit the ground. And I often forget I even have the elytra on, so I'll jump and then forget to open the elytra, so I go splat, and it's like, oh, right, yeah. Or the, oh, yeah, all my armor is netherite, except the boots. You know, splat. Goodbye, boots. It's like, oh man. That's too bad, but going splat's not always fun. Yeah, you can't open a elytra you're not wearing. Not so much. Alright. I keep saying, you know, next season I will go, you know, map free and quality of life mod free and good pure vanilla, and yeah, I always end up returning to at least some of those mods. So while I may not always go maps, it's helpful because I don't always fly. It's now a thing where I can say, hey, my challenge is to go flight free or something like that, but then probably not, because I haven't flown for very long. It's not that the novelty's not worn off, it's that not flying is more of a normal thing for me rather than flying, so yeah. A lot of it's just courage. But we'll go there. And then there's some mods, like little tiny quality of life things that I find so incredibly useful when I'm trying to actually build, that I kind of would be lost without them. Let's get the tail end of this side done, then we'll see where else we can find. Pardon me. Bad manners, sorry about that. So for those of you that that did the giving out candy thing last night, did you guys get a lot of kids at your house? I don't think we actually counted, but it felt like we had a good number. It wasn't crazy nuts. Some years it's been absolutely bonkers. You did start pretty late, but you know, that's one of the other perks is there's a lot of stuff people do together early on, and then we help each other out later on to give those that want it a bootstrap up. Oops, wink. Oh, come on, up. Fine, up button. Okay. I must have got it because I can't place another one. Dang bot hates you? Uh-oh. What is the bot trying to do? Oh, links. No, Ross, I think you've just been one of those people that, particularly on phones, some phones will take out a lot of extra spaces. Mobile does that a lot. And it's such a pain because then the bot goes, no, you can't put an ellipsis in there, the 3 dots, and expect me to actually allow you to put it in there. I think it's a link. Well, you know, I don't actually use a whole lot of the VIP feature, but I've thought about it for some of the regulars, like yourself, to allow links to go in, and that would artificially solve the issue. But it'd be nice if I could actually get it to do that. I've tried putting it in as an allowed word, as an ellipsis with no space, but that doesn't work because, of course, it treats it as a single word. So that's not working too well. Okay, what have we got? Why? That was rather useful. Not. Okay, so I've got most of this top. Oh. Well, that's no good. So I have no rockets with me. That'll be interesting. I'll just have to go down to the bottom, get some out of the ender chest. Yeah. Well, that's it. And it really, I don't understand why it has that particular element, because, I mean, it's even, like, when you think about it, it's a malformed, it's a malformed link address, so it shouldn't even allow it anyways, because it's broken, right? Like, I'm not bothered by that, so I don't even know why it would freak out. It's not like somebody could click on it and actually go anywhere with that anyways. Whatever. Whoever wrote the bot was trying to be proactive and smart and all that stuff. And it's just funny, though, because they say, you know, or people say, oh, well, Dylan's bot hates me. Well, it's not specifically my bot, because I've seen the same thing in other channels, but it's funny how some channels, just the way people write, they get the spaces in, and some channels, they just forget them, and it's... nobody can explain why. It's a mental thing. And I can't reach those two. Dang it. See, this one has that one. Can I get jumped up there? Okay, that's lucky. I'm usually not comfortable with ledges like this. I'm worried about falling off. But it's a funny thing to have the elytra and actually remember that I've got them. Yes. Question of the day. Do you prefer physical books or ebooks? And my question to follow up with that is, and why? I'm a both kind of person. So for collector purposes, I prefer physical books. I like the feel of a physical book in my hand a lot of the time, but more and more of the e-readers, like some of the Kindles and stuff, actually do feel quite comfortable in my hand. That said, if I use, say, the Amazon Kindle app on my tablet, just because my tablet is heavier than an actual Kindle, then I'm not a huge fan of it. The other thing I like about ebooks is even if I've got a physical book, if there's some reason I don't want to crack the spine or something, then I'll go with the e-version, because then I can read it a ton of times and not actually wreck the cover of the collector's edition. You don't get pictures and stuff though, which kind of stinks. Let's go this way. Physical, yeah. Physical is awesome when you can get the feel of it. I know people who are also all about marginalia, and that drives me bonkers some days. What I mean by that is marginalia are, the notes and comments and sketches and whatever that people put in the corners of their books. And while there's nothing wrong with it on the face of things, as the daughter of a librarian, I have a reason to hate them. Think about it when you buy, say, a book. If you're going to buy a physical book at a used bookstore, for example, people have gone and written in the edges. There's times where it's appropriate. Like, for example, I love buying... Don't do it very often, but I love buying physical recipe books with notes in the margins, because often it's sort of those little tips and trick hints that people wouldn't tell you. So you learn stuff from that. And, I've got stories, about having done that. Things like I wanted a copy of a cookbook that my mother had when I was growing up, because she'd used it as a school textbook, and so absolutely was familiar with it and loved it. Ooh, well, that's not good. So I wanted a copy of that and managed to find it they were having an antique sale, which was kind of funny, only in that, when I told my mom it was an antique sale, she was like, "My book's not antique yet." Well, whatever. But, in any case, she, when I found the book, it actually had people who had written in the edge, and it turned out to be writing that looked very, very much like my grandmother's writing, so it was kind of, I guess, unintentionally comforting. That was cool. Yeah. That's another thing I like about ebooks, is a lot of ebook readers these days are coming with a half-decent audio voice in them. So while it's not a perfect audio voice, it's, you get sort of the bonus of the audiobook and the physical book all in one, which makes it easier to listen to both. Like, as in, you don't lose your place, or you can pick up where you left off in places and times when you don't necessarily have an opportunity to be doing reading in a physical book. Audiobooks, they have their pros and cons as well. Ebooks have their pros and cons as well. If you're a person who learns better by audio, then ebook it is, because of that audio feature. And in some cases, it allows you to do read-along. So that's kind of fun. What have we got? Did I get the front side yet? Okay, I got the front. I think I got most of the back. Can I super jump? Nope. Not enough to get a button in there. Head to the hill, and the winner is Spring Purse. Yay! Using the planty. That's one of my favorites. Because if you guys have any idea what the planty was in there, literally it is just a plant in a pot, most likely a cactus. So you've won Champion of the Hill by smacking somebody with a cactus. As corny as that sounds. Okay. I need rockets if I'm going to get up anywhere else. Red and orange box. What's in this one? That junk box? Okay, junk box. What's in that one? There's still more there. What's in this? That's where that box went. Okay. And then this one, random junk. Oh. Right, this one goes in here for now. Cacti can be very good weapons, yeah, exactly. Okay, let's go back up. Aha! And overshoot. Yeah, not so much flying skill on that one. Ow! Okay, where were these dark ones I saw earlier? Sometimes I wish I could hover. Oh, it's on a head. Oh! Well, that's dumb. I thought I finished that part. No! Wow. This thing is huge and I can't land on it. Down, please. Thank you. Okay. I'm not particularly sure what the bot is currently counting as a line. It's supposed to do something every X number of lines. And it seems to be having fun counting all kinds of weird stuff as lines. Okay, where are we here? Let's get the back of the head. One of my least favorite things to have happen in Minecraft is mobs dropping down on my head. Particularly spiders. That one, I've never, as far as I know, done an outright spider shriek on camera, but there's always a first time for everything. Oh, come on. Really? Ow. That's gonna hurt. Okay, did I get all the last of the ones up on the top of the head? Nope, I did not. So I really don't want a spider coming down on my head. That would be unpleasant. Splat. Yeah, there's a couple of sound clips in there for a reason. When I was learning to fly, I actually did that as a stream earlier this year, and I did fairly well. I mean, basic flying 101 sort of deal, but still not very good at it, which makes people kind of wonder how on earth I ever survived not without flying, but without crashing to my death a gazillion times in the pre-flight days. So, for example, like I've used gliders, I've used bouncy boots. And those are the two big ones. But I've never actually dealt with rockets. So, in modded, you can use a sling and then basically slime-coated boots, which is kind of cool. It works well. But, yeah, and you can fly a really long way. And then I did things like land in lava and all kinds of other fun oopsies. I had never actually flown with Elytra or rockets. So a glider is not that different from the Elytra itself. I guess I just have to fall and miss. Can I reach this? That'll do. Yeah, Elytra's not that different from a glider. It's more... Can I get to the top of... that? So can I land? Can I land? Sort of. There we go. Now that I've got Elytra, it's a lot of smacking into things. as you guys correctly pointed out earlier, I need to eat, you know? There will be a few splats that just involve things that are high up on ledges, and can I get back to that, pardon me, to that ledge before they all despawn?
Perhaps we should. But isn't it incredible that millions and millions of people can talk simultaneously from practically any spot on Earth?
Elytra is a glider, but it was actually operated very slightly differently. Oh, and I missed some. Ooey. Oh well. It was still like just a spacebar sort of thing, but you had to make sure you were wearing it, and it would act really funny. Like you had to have it on your hotbar. It wasn't something you could just put on your back and then sort of set and forget, I guess you could say, the way you can with the Elytra. Okay, so that edge, this front edge appears done from this height. This level appears done. So far, so good. No, the stem needs a lot of work, and this side needs more.
In the beginning, back in the old days, the telephone was something of an oddity.
That one.
You'd pick up this receiver to see that the line
Yeah,
was
a lot down there.
Then you'd hang up. Ring with this
Getting the last two at the end is going to be a real pain
Pick it up again.
in the backside. Just flying into the wall involves a lot of smackage. Alright. If I can get this guy out of the road, then we can move on to other projects, right? So the next one, I don't even know if I'm going to have enough materials. I may have to go find a shop that's selling it. But because I have to do the math when I'm done here to see just how many shulkers of stone I've used, which I'm assuming is quite a lot. Oh. Yep, missed. Knock him down. Ooh, I missed one over there too. Let's try this again. Round. Where's the one on the ear that I missed? Right. Oh, missed a lot. There's one. There's one. There's one. Hey, Shinigami, how are you doing? Yeah, I thank you very much for the fun fact spring purse. That's totally true. I have heard that one before. That the first call from a truly mobile phone was a guy. I can't remember if it was AT&T to Bell or Bell to AT&T, but it was in those sorts of directions. And they were calling to brag about the fact that they were standing in the middle of the street with a suitcase phone. Okay. Did I hear? I've got a... Where the devil are you? I think you're inside. That's weird. Very, very weird. Alright, let's cut off. I think so. Yeah. I'm warming up, but I'm to the situation. Not enjoying having that guy, the little itty-bitty guy, making a lot of noise, but, you know, it is what it is. So, Shinigami, what do you plan to be doing next? What's on your docket for the day? I still have a ton of these. I tried doing some moving in to the church building I've been working on for Akun's Age, and have a lot of stuff left to move, just because I'm disorganized and not knowing where to put it. And apparently I stored more wool than I originally had planned for, so I've got to redo some of the layouts, but you've got... Still trying to get the bot to be less noisy, but it seems to be counting every 10 lines, which I would think would be, you know, mostly just bot lines, but unfortunately, no, it includes itself. So that doesn't help. So somehow, I'm assuming it's hollow inside there, because I've got the microscope.
Oh, hello there!
That just doesn't want to go away. Hey Tiz, how you do? I hope I'm buttoning up the project. It'd be nice to get this one finished. To be able to say finished is finished. So we'll see if we can... Oh! And I'm frequently over chopping. There we go. I'm putting holes in things. That's okay. It's actually going to be interesting when I'm done buttoning it this way, because I really probably could have gone with quote-unquote the old-fashioned way and just do scaffolding just over the whole thing, and that way I make sure I get every single one of these. But I'll do that to see where I missed at the end, because last thing I wanted is something like that little guy you can hear running around dropping on my head. He wouldn't be the worst though, as I said. Spiders would be worse, but just don't want anything out of this if I can possibly avoid it. So yeah, I was just about to say that I don't know if I have enough to do the next one in the material I intended, because I had wanted to do the next bust in copper, like waxed copper, and I'm very certain I don't have any waxed to start with. And yeah, the bee building was a rather notable fail. Just partly because it doesn't stay loaded, and so the bees despawned, name tagged or not, they still despawned. So I just gave up on that part. So we'll have to see what I can make the next one out of. Oh, I'm out of buttons again. Crash! Let's just take all of it and make it all into buttons. Alrighty, so normally we have an evening slot. We should probably bring that up. Normally we have an evening slot on Tuesdays where I was doing bingo. That will not be the case this week. I actually have a traveling Broadway show to see. So I got tickets for that, and therefore that's what I'm doing, you know. Which suggests then that to the next stream you'll see me doing is going to be tomorrow, and we'll be doing the usual of what's the word? Of starting out the morning or the first session with puzzlers. So we'll be back to the room, even though October is over. We're still going to work on the room 4 and keep plugging away at that little dollhouse and see what we can do to figure out where all this null goo is coming from or going to. Why did they want it, and why did the husband and wife disappear? I don't know about why, maybe where, I guess, because why seems to be irrelevant in this game. They do it because they wanna. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing in the first session. And then the second session will probably be yet another return to Zoo, because I'm having a blast with that one. Even though it's career modes, and there's some corny voice acting in it, it's still just a little bit of fluff fun before we come back to more Minecraft tasky stuff on Thursday. I really missed a spot, didn't I? Wow. Anyway, yeah, so we won't be having a bingo run tonight from myself. And I'm probably going to be absent for DC's bingo run, which is a little bit of a boo, but I enjoy musicals, so gonna have a good evening with that one this evening. We're seeing Jesus Christ Superstar, so if any of you have heard of that one before, it's another one of the Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals. And yeah, it's been around since Actually, I think before I was born. I think. There's dating myself there. I'd have to go check. Anyways, it's something from the 70s, so... Yeah, I can understand. I don't have a whole lot of viewership from across the Atlantic pond at all, for that very reason. Spring Purse, just because everybody's asleep by that point. And in all honesty, I'll be frank, you're not missing anything. My bingo runs are not speed runs by any stretch of the imagination. They're pretty pretty casual, so you're not missing anything. Watching a VOD of someone's speedrun is probably far more worth your time. But that's not to say that I'm, not enjoying it. It's just that it's not exactly a high speed, high stakes, anybody's missing anything kind of thing if you aren't able to make it, so no concerns there. Yeah, it's funny because they call it a modern rock opera, and the Jesus Christ Superstar thing is a modern rock opera, and I'm like, no, not exactly. If you consider 1970s rock modern, I guess, maybe. Okay, let's go back up. Oh, and then overshot again. Up and down. We're gonna go through some spins this time, I suppose. There we go. You're saying it's modern compared to the source material, I guess. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll buy that one. Also, this one's supposed to be a little different. The news blurbs claim, they say it's not your grandma's Jesus Christ Superstar, which is interesting. Because I actually grew up listening to a vinyl recording of the original cast. So, yeah. I've seen it a couple of times before. One was just years ago when it traveled, just as it's doing now. So we've got, I'm in Canada, so we have a Broadway Across Canada program that you can buy season tickets to, and it's a whole series of musicals, like a season worth or whatever, that you can buy tickets to, and then you can go and see various different musicals. And then this one, the other place I saw it was an enterprising church who decided that they needed to have more visitorship. I guess, I don't know if they were trying to bolster numbers or what the deal was. But anyways, they decided to use Jesus Christ Superstar as a, depending who you talk to, a somewhat questionable choice as a Good Friday service content near Easter. I thought it was great, but that's just because I know how to take that thing sort of tongue-in-cheek. And it's fine by me to do that. But yeah, that didn't necessarily fly with everybody that I've talked to. But that's okay, people do things differently. And I also had that was also one of the more, the one I saw at a church was actually one of the slightly more risque presentations as well, which amused me to no end. That particular one happened to be the more risque version I'd seen. And what I mean by that is they had family friendly, sorry, kind of slightly out the window for a couple minutes. If anybody's familiar with the Jesus Christ Superstar story, they have a spot where they have a King Herod character who's supposed to be fluffy. I don't know how to explain it, really. It's not family friendly to say, but he's different. Kind of like Elton John meets Liberace, kind of different. And so this particular presentation decided that they were going to stick him in a tank top with the bottoms had a fake bare butt sticking through some buttless chaps. It was just odd. And then he had some dancing girls with him that were dressed decently enough, but you can tell that were it not to be a church, like the type of outfit that they had chosen for those characters would have been slightly more revealing. But being in church, they had them wear cover-ups and a lot more sarongs over top kind of deal than is normally worn with those outfits. And it was interesting. But you really had to take that one tongue-in-cheek, and a lot of people would not go for that at all, particularly not for an Easter service kind of thing. would say, personal take Shinigami, I still have a lot to learn from you. So whether you say you're a great streamer or not, as long as there's something I can still learn from you, I'd say you got one up on me half the time. But that's okay, right? Everybody's style is different too. And that's another thing I'm learning from a lot of different people is about style. And that I have to think about it less than I thought I did. I was overthinking a lot of things. So yeah, lots of change still to come in minor ways, but if I'm just not thinking about it, then that's better. Besides, some days I can be pretty poisonous, and other days it's pretty, it's okay. I think I'm having an okay week. So it's going to be a better week stream-wise than it has been for a while. I also recognize that if one was to look at it from an advertising point of view, what I do on whatever Wednesday by not doing Minecraft is my killer day, as in it kills averages, it kills numbers, it kills the stats, and I don't care because I stream games because I want to, because I would play them anyways, and it gives me an opportunity to chat with people and share with friends. Overthrowing things. Yeah. Overthinking things and sometimes making mistakes as a result of it. I can totally see that. Okay, so let's do a quick fly around, see how much more we have to do. Let's see if I can avoid smacking into it. Up. As I said, I'd love to hover, because I can't quite get to a level where I'm seeing all of it without crashing into it. Oh, missed him on the hand. Where else do we go? I'm just sort of seeing it as I go by, so we'll have to... because I can't get close enough for it to res the mistakes before I crash. Oh, yeah, missed that shoulder. I'm sure there's going to be at least a half a dozen blocks all the way around this thing that I just didn't see or didn't get to. Let's see, is there any more that I can see from here? Yeah, over there. How to get to those? I must have some visible blocks inside where that zombie guy spawned, because every once in a while I'm seeing red through something that looks like a solid wall. Okay, well, let's just... Boink. Missed. Ow. Can I crash into it appropriately? How did I miss that one? That's right on the top. Get there? Oh, I think I got there. Okay. Yeah. Have an awesome stream, Shinigami. Let's see. I saw that coming. Alright. Let's smack into the wall. Oh, wrong end. Oh, okay. One more time. It's new. There we go. No, 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 no. I bounced. Let's not die before the stream's over. Almost there. Almost there. Good landing is where you can walk away. A great landing is one where you don't take damage. Yeah, I don't have either of those. Okay, let's see if we... Oh, more than that, too. Ow? Okay, well, there's a spot. No! Well, I'll deal with that off camera. It's not a huge huge one. Let's take one more flyby, and then we'll call her quits. Alright. So that's what this puppy looks like. I missed a couple spots here. There's a few more in the hat, I know. Get that jump. Can't go up that way. And we'll call it. So I want to say thank you to everybody who came by today. We got a couple of things done. I'm starting to move things in, which is good news. So I'll turn it around. Let's put that guy up his nose. There we go. Up his nose. We're going to even... Oh, no, can't see the church from here. So we're this way today, and I'm just going to quickly switch ourselves over to the ending screen, and then we'll say the goodbyes and find somebody to raid out. All right. So, I want to say thanks very much to Perfect Shot and Fantastic Sherlock Fox for dropping by. Also to Spring Purse for spending some wonderful time here, and ITT Tom, Tis for Truth, B Silver B, Firepower, Ross, and Shinigami for dropping by. I'm looking at who's live, and I'm thinking we can either head our way over to Shinigami or the local brick shop for Lego. And I'm leaning towards Shinigami. He, as you guys are aware, he just started up. Looks like he's playing something that I'm not hugely into, but unfortunately, even if I was, I didn't have a whole lot of time to stick around today. What have we got today? Gundam, I think it was. Yeah, so I want to say thanks everybody and to have a great rest of your day. As mentioned earlier, I will be back tomorrow morning or tomorrow noon Eastern time, and wish everybody all the best. So feel free to give Shinigami our best.
Mischief managed.
Properly here. There we go. So there's the 2 raid messages. Otherwise, you can use any emotes you want, and have yourselves a fantastic day.
Transfer complete.